Alright, hey guys, Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So, if I remember right, I think we left the last episode finally figuring out Race Felger basically sitting there saying, Nego's going to kill you. And we have come to the conclusion that we must kill him first. Or at least Estinian did. But first we have to find a way to enter his lair back in the Churning Mist. Fortunately, we already have a way of doing so. Basically go to Sid always comes up with fun idea leads to us getting in, and then we go boom boom, and then we win. But first we actually gotta run over here to go talk to Sid. Because he'll be at the New Wind's old friends at the Sky Steel Manufactory. Luckily we'll be there on short notice. Although I'm not too sure how many episodes I'm gonna do today. I might do an additional 2. Because you know why? Because it's so nice being ahead on videos and not having to like crunch for content. It's amazing. I'm not kidding you, it's amazing. I still gotta edit, but that's another story. There are little projects just inside. Oh, you're going to like this one. How much am I gonna like it?
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
Loving it. Ooh.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
That bitch is really tiny.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them. They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
The energy conversion ratio's bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new ISHGARDian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
Huh. Taru.
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from UL'DAH. It's about Her Grace the Sultana.
Ooh. She did?
It seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the mana cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds.
Alright guys, you do that, I handle my thing, we come back, we cause the boom, and then
You,
we head on.
meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Raoban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
The slow walk between the three of us, the original. Regional 3. Gotta love it. I'll never understand why so many games and movies have slow motion and they just have people walking. What did Alphina's gotta say? And strange you, Ideen. Shall we hear what news Tara has brought us? Yes. General Raoban says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts. He wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come Hydaelyn, pressing through. Though ISHGARD's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the mana cutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of THANALAN and lend what aid we may. Tataru have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it would take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alphino. To the waking sands, warrior of light, 'tis past time UL'DAH was delivered from this darkness. Why the hell are there so many people working here? Just a lot of people. Alright, head back to the waking sands for the millionth time. Well, at least not in Heavensward. In general, though. That person's working, that guy's working. What the hell are they working on? Oh yeah. I like how the fact that my chocobo flies and just how weird it looks when it's flying with your character on it. It just looks so awkward. It looks like a chicken with when you tie something on the back of it and it's trying to fly to get it off. I'm not going to say whether I did that or not, but just know that I've never been around chickens that much in my life, so probably no. But it still sounds like it'd be a fun idea. Well, that's not the worst thing I've ever heard about. I actually shouldn't say what I know that's worse than that. It'll get somebody in trouble. He's back.
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
But not your arm.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, UL'DAH informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to UL'DAH's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it, the lady-in-waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours? Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend, for Nanamo, and for UL'DAH!
I just thought it sounded hilarious. My character is like both of her arms are probably not nearly as big as friggin' Robon's. If you tie two of these together, it still wouldn't be as thick as his damn arms. When a chosen to entrap the Sultana in a death-like sleep rather than slay her, then one must surely know all the means to rouse her from said state. There must be an antidote to this poison. Our target is Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting, a woman of Midlanda heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents, confirm that Meriel is still hiding there. I actually can't remember where Silver Bazaar is at. Where is that? I guess that does work. Yeah, that's Horizon. I could just fly there. Alright. Booyah. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god, you imagine you lost health if you hit your head on those things? That'd be hilarious. Oh yeah, I see where it's at. It's like right here, right? Yep, flying in the right direction. Time to fly low. Oh my god. The bad thing is when I see... Actually, if I see a cliffside like that, all that reminds me of a little bit. It's not snowy conditions, but it does give me a small sliver of reminder of, Modern Warfare 2? Had to be Modern Warfare 2. Ah, Mario, hi, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one close to the market entrance. That person just told us where she is. Why do I gotta talk to 2 more people? Oh, you have to confirm the confirmation of the confirmation. Oh, what brings you to our lonely little hamlet? I believe the arrival of your entourage just doubled our population. Look for Mario, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to UL'DAH, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Gee, I wonder why. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear this. Well, if I remember where she's at. Like what, right here? Yep.
You are Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
Ooh.
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me. General Alden.
You don't want to piss him off. I wouldn't piss him off.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Hello, Lorito.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lonorito, you'd best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim.
Ooh. Smart move.
'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Meriel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend ISHGARD was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
Clever bitch.
You conniving little worm! You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve!
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. UL'DAH was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, UL'DAH. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
Do you want to kill you?
Alas, UL'DAH's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive, and preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial?
I mean, he did openly admit to everybody that was present in that damn room that he did it, so...
Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law.
I mean, the word and spirit of the law is everybody gets a fair trial. My only problem is that when you willingly open up and sit there and say it amongst a giant group of people, I murdered the bitch. I mean, justification sits there and says he gets to die. Oh my god, the feet textures.
If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
I mean, he did make money out of it. Good man. Good man. Why ain't that bitch dead yet?
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of UL'DAH shall once more be united under Nanamo Ulnamo. and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
I never do find out what happens to her as a result of all this. And we just sit there in the doorway looking passively into the distance. Well, that was fun. By 12, I feared Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I expect of that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Shall we make our way to UL'DAH? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. Yeah, I'm assuming the... I mean, I don't blame Lolorito. He probably seen that if Teleji did murder the Sultana, what would end up happening is Teleji would gain power, Lolorito would lose power. He's then at risk of losing everything he's been fighting for all this time in UL'DAH. If he loses it all, then he's screwed. So his logical conclusion was, if I piss off everybody, take the plan as my own, and then have it set to where, perhaps, not guaranteed, but perhaps Raban was going to kill him, then Lolorito gains all of Teleji's assets, and but he keeps the government more stable than what it was. Well, what it was going to be if Teleji would have been in power. So, I mean, I guess his logic is there, as long as there's money to be made and it keeps everything stable without any risks. I mean, I can see where his logic's at, but I just don't know. I mean, it's a secret way of being able to control a lot more stuff. I don't blame him on that. It's actually pretty intelligent to do. Although it's just, I don't know. I'm surprised Alpha nobody actually questioned the fact, oh yeah, we forgot Wilrid's dead. Everybody forgot about Wilrid. Poor Wilrid. Such a good gentleman. Gone in the middle of a forest, with a waterfall and water as it rolled down through him in the river. Probably buried in some ditch in Nowheresville. Flame General Raban mentioned you be coming, please, this way if you will. Oh god. Whew. How does he know it was at that table? Nobody said anything to him. Ah, she sleeps still. Wait a minute, who changed her? That's terrifying. Who would have did that? Meryl, maybe? Yes. Oh my god, look at those low poly feet and fingers. Oh my god, I would love to see what this game looks like if you modded it. Higher resolution textures and all that. Like, a lot of the textures are pretty good. Like, this looks nice. Facial features, fine. Just hands not too bad. Feet are pretty bad. That's a noise she makes? I remember when she was crying and oh my god, that was a horrible scene to watch.
I was having the longest dream.
'Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in THANALAN, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands.
I find it weird that she doesn't question that he has a missing arm now.
Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she is none the worse for her slumber. I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of UL'DAH into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
Ooh.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and ladies, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by THALALAN and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
I mean, whether you like it or not, he has a point. Can't risk government instability when a war is about to go on.
'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order.
Ah, goddammit, I right-clicked again.
UL'DAH has taken control of its future, and I must do the same.
The ever-slow walk.
I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves. Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, ISHGARD, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more. The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
Ooh. I mean, I don't blame him for disbanding it. The group was just... There's not enough stability, not enough anti-corruption going on. I blush to speak. less of my inner turmoil. But the fact remains, there is no moment alive in which I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never emerge from beneath the pall of my despair. Still, no word from Master Garland. I hope his mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion. Sure, I'd hope that her grace will make a full recovery. I and UL'DAH too shall flourish once more. General Robon and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Yugiri, a question if I may. I believe your people may have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You'll be pleased to know the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Renovant's toll when they learned of Captain Ilberd's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there are now worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. To me, I see. I'm grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to ISHGARD, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as Crystal Brave Commando. Will you join me, Hydaelyn? You were the one at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. Yeah, I don't blame Alphino. The idea of a company like that, it's like the UN. It sounds like such a great idea. And then you make it. And then after a little while you realize it was a mistake. Not necessarily, it's not a complete mistake. It has good principles to be built upon, but depending on who's allowed in, depending on how those interactions unfold, it is subject to corruption. And since there's nothing holding accountable on a great enough level, then of course it's going to have major issues inside of it. Commander, you're alive. And I didn't too. I knew you'd escape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. But you'll hear us not complaining. 'Twas a slight messier than expected, aye, but we still fighting for the freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I truly am blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most proud regret, then, that I must. But that's enough of that, Commander. We know what you have in mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We've talked it over, and seen as we all agreed, you can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but it won't be no less of a company. But the Crystal Braves. Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other and to you. Commander, Alphino, our minds are made up, so you may as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions, let us help you find Menphilia and the others. My friends, after all that has happened, I know not what to say. Ah, so we got new members of the Scions. Good, good. Our order grows in power. Elaine, we find the Mystic Scions I promised you. Between us and the Immortal Flames, no stone in Eorzea will be left unturned. I don't know if you know, but during that God's Damned Feast, Flahamin got ambushed by some 3rd Unit Curs over in Lumza. Until she danced free of their news, though, ain't heard nothing since, but I guess she's lying somewhere low in the port. Oh god. If we scrutinize the Scions records, they should provide us with likely locations of which the missing Archons may have fled. Put your mind at ease as it works work just such as this that we have been trained. I actually do want to talk to everybody. I mean, Zhed, I joined the Crystal Braves in hopes of following you in your footsteps. I do not regret the decision, not even for a moment. First things first, we need to put the Rising Stones in order. We cannot have the Archons return to find their headquarters in shambles. It's cool talking to all the guys instead. Pray excuse me, I thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Yep, I am an exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest, I know that I am not worthy of your loyalty, Hydaelyn. But as THAL is my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. Alright, I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing Scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Orion, Jane Awakening Sands, and Tataru and ISHGARD. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garlean at the manufactory. I will join you in ISHGARD as soon as I am able. Alright, but guys, with that, I actually have to end this episode here. I think we're well over 30 minutes, luckily. But with every good thing comes to a close at some point. So with that, we've found that we now have Alphino disbanding the Crystal Braves, though many of the more loyal members are staying with us here at the Scions headquarters. Besides that, we'll be heading back to Sid, seeing if he's got the Mana Cutter done any better than what he does now. Probably end up doing the dungeon. But with that, guys, all I have to say is this. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. When we come back, ladies and gents, more Final Fantasy XIV, and I'll be sure to see you then. Thanks.